Hello everyone, this is Mansi Shah, Assistant Professor in the Department of Pharmacology from LG Institute of Pharmacy. I welcome you all in this MOOC video lecture series, an initiative taken by LG Institute of Pharmacy. So today's discussion topic is regarding anatomy and physiology of heart. So in this session we'll discuss regarding working of heart. So first, that is heartbeat. What is heartbeat? Rhythm, contraction and relaxation of heart, it is called as heartbeat. Contraction and relaxation which occur separately in atria and ventriculus. However, ventricular movements are quite prominent and forceful. Therefore, heartbeat is synonym with ventricular or apex beat. The rate of heartbeat in an adult male is about 72 per minute. Each heartbeat has two components, systole and diastole. Systole represents contraction, diastole represents relaxation of heart chambers. Heartbeats are listened with the help of an instrument which is called as stethoscope, which is invented by Laennec. Next, that is cardiac cycle. So, a single cardiac cycle includes all events associated with one heartbeat. Thus, a cardiac cycle, it consists of systole and diastole of atria plus systole and diastole of ventricles. Cardiac cycle is the process of heartbeat which begins from the time of embryo development. Once heart beats, it continues throughout the life. In resting stage of man, in 1 minute, the heart beats around 72 times. And during this 1 minute, 5 liters of blood is pumped to different parts of body through heart, through left ventricle. If heartbeat per minute is 72, the time of cardiac cycle, that is 0.8 seconds. To begin with, all the 4 chambers of heart are in relaxed state and then they are in joint diastole. So, this figure explains the process of cardiac cycle. Initially, the atria and ventricles, they are in relaxed state. Atrioventricular valves are open and blood flows into the ventricles. The ventricle fills to approximately 70% of their volume. Then, in this part, semilunar valves, they are closed and AV valves, they are open. In the next phase, again, semilunar valves, they are closed and AV valves are open, but atria contract and completes its ventricular feeding. Then in the next part, that is contraction of ventricles, it causes pressure in the ventricles which increases, and almost at that time the AV valves, it closes, and during that closes, the first heart sound, that is heard. The pressure of the ventricles continues to increase. Again, at this time also, semilunar valves, they are closed and AV valves, they are also closed. Now, further, semilunar valves gets open and AV valves, they are closed. So, during this period, there is continued ventricular contraction which causes the pressure in ventricles to exceed the pressure in the pulmonary trunk and aorta. As a result, the semilunar valves are forced to open and blood is ejected into the pulmonary trunk and aorta. Next, that is semilunar valves are closed and AV valves are closed. So this occurs at the beginning of ventricular diastole. The ventricles relax and the semilunar valves close. At this point of time, the second heart sound is heard. So these are the 4 phases of various cardiac cycle, right? As we have discussed regarding in the last slide. So atrial systole begins, that is atrial contraction forces blood into ventricles. At that point of time, there occurs P wave, that is atria depolarization occurs. Then ventricular systole, that is the first phase, during which ventricular contraction pushes AV valves to get closed. So here there occurs initiation of QRS complex, that is ventricle depolarization. Then ventricle systole, that is the second phase which occurs, in that semilunar valves are open and blood is ejected. So in this point of time, ventricular repolarization occurs, right? This appears, T wave appears during this phase. Then in the phase of ventricular diastole, which is early and late, right? This T wave continues, right? Repolarization, ventricular repolarization, it continues, and during the early stage, the semilunar valves, it closes and blood flows into atria, and during the late phase, the chambers relax and blood fills ventricles passively. Next, that is a heart sound. Right? So first sound, that is, it is a contraction sound which denotes the beginning of ventricular contraction. It appears due to closing of mitral valve and tricuspid valve. It is weak and appears in the form of lup. It is less sound. It has longer duration. Second sound, that is a diastolic sound which denotes the beginning of ventricular diastole. This arises due to closing of semilunar valves of the two arcs and it is heard in the form of tau. It is louder sound. It has sharp and shorter duration. Third sound, that is during filling of auricle, and fourth sound, that is during the rapid filling of ventricle. This lup and dup sounds of heart can be heard with the help of instrument, that is stethoscope. The study of heart sounds by marking them on graph, that is termed as phonocardiograph. Next, that is the cardiac output. So cardiac output is the volume of blood ejected from the left ventricle or right ventricle into aorta or pulmonary trunk each minute. Cardiac output, it is equal to stroke volume, that is volume of blood ejected by ventricular during each contraction, into heart rate, that is the number of heartbeats per minute. In a typical resting adult male, stroke volume averages about 70 ml per beat and heart rate is about 75 beats per minute. So the cardiac output on an average is about 5.25 liters per minute. Next, that is the ECG, that is electrocardiogram, which is nothing but a graphical representation of the electrical activity of heart during each cardiac cycle. So, to obtain a standard ECG, as shown in the figure, patient is connected to the machine with 3 electrical leads, 1 to each wrist and to the left ankle, that continuously monitor the heart activity. So, this machine was discovered by Einthoven and first time the ECG was taken by Waller. Each peak in the ECG is identified with a letter from P to T that corresponds to a specific electrical activity of heart. P wave represents electrical excitation, that is called as depolarization of atria, which leads to contraction of both atria. QRS complex represents depolarization of ventricles, which initiates the ventricular contraction. So contraction starts shortly after Q and marks the beginning of the systole. The T wave represents the return of ventricles from excited to normal state, that is called as repolarization. The end of T wave marks the end of systole. Obviously, by counting the number of QRS complexes that occur in a given time, one can determine the heart rate of an individual. Regulation of heartbeat. So, normal activities of heart, they are regulated intrinsically, that is auto-regulated by specialized muscles called as nodal tissues. Hence, the heart is called as myogenic. Center of heartbeat, that is regulation, is located in medulla oblongata, that is in the brainstem. Now, nervous control. So, the cardiac center, that is neural center, which regulates heartbeat, is found in medulla oblongata of brain. It can moderate the cardiac function through autonomic nervous system. This cardiac center has two units, cardio-accelerator center and cardio-inhibitor center. So, from the cardio-acceleratory center, a pair of sympathetic nerves goes to SA node. This center increases the rate of heartbeat, while cardio-inhibitory center send impulses to SA node through cardiac branch of vagus nerve. This center reduces the heartbeat. Next, that is hormonal control. So, from the sympathetic nerve fibers, a hormone, noradrenaline, is secreted, which increases the heartbeat. From parasympathetic nerve fibers, hormone acetylcholine is secreted, which decreases the heartbeat. The adrenaline hormone and thyroxine hormone is secreted by adrenal medulla and thyroid respectively, which also increases heartbeat. Tachycardia, it is a condition where heart rate increases, it exceeds 90 per minute, right? And bradycardia, it is a condition where heartbeat decreases, so heartbeat falls, it is about 60 per minute. Blood pressure, so blood pressure is the pressure which is exerted by flowing blood on elastic walls of arteries. This pressure is known as blood pressure. Blood pressure is measured into two stages. First, that is systolic pressure, diastolic pressure, and then pulse pressure. Systolic pressure, it is higher limit of blood pressure that shows the state of heart, that is systolic contraction for men. This limit is 120 mmHg. And diastolic pressure, it is the lower limit of blood pressure that shows the state of heart in relaxation, that is expansion, that is diastole. So, this limit is 80 mmHg. Pulse pressure, it is the difference between the systolic and diastolic blood pressure. The instrument by which we measure blood pressure, that is called as sphygmomanometer. In men, blood pressure is measured in brachial artery of arm. Normal blood pressure in healthy human being is 120 by 80 mmHg. The factors affecting blood pressure are, first, that is exercise. So at the time of physical labor, blood pressure is increased. Emotions and excitement. In the state of excitement or emotions, blood pressure is increased in men. At the time of adrenal secretion, at the time of fear, and some in hereditary conditions, blood pressure is increased. Contraction of blood vessels. So blood pressure is increased when contraction takes place in arteries and blood vessels, blood capillaries. Then body posture. In relaxing condition, blood pressure is low as compared to that of a standing man. Then sex, that is in women, blood pressure is low as compared to that men. Obesity, in obese persons, blood pressure is increased. Age, so blood pressure increases as age advances due to increase in vasomotor tone. Next, that is the disorder related to the circulatory system. First, that is hypertension. So hypertension, that is high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the occurrence of persistent systolic atrial pressure, which is more than 140 mmHg, and diastolic atrial pressure, which is more than 90 mmHg. Now, hypertension is of two types, primary and secondary. So secondary hypertension, that is regarding underlying cause like hormonal or obstruction, and primary hypertension, that is called as essential hypertension, which is no cause for that, right? So 90% of hypertensive patients suffer from this type of phenomenon. It is caused by several factors like arteriosclerosis, atherosclerosis, varicose veins, obesity, right, etc. High blood pressure can be managed. Excessive high blood pressure, say 220 to 120 mmHg, it is dangerous and it may lead to hemorrhage in different parts of body, which can cause blindness. If it damages the optic arteries, if it damages renal artery, it can cause nephritis. If it damages brain, it can cause brain stroke. Right? So 2 1 factors responsible for hypertension, that is first, that is smoking, and second, that is obesity. So both of them are avoidable. During smoking, nicotine mixes with blood and causes constriction of arteries. As a result, blood pressure rises. Moreover, blood pressure rises as oxygen carrying capacity of lungs is reduced. Carbon monoxide produced during smoking reduces oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin. A person is considered to be obese when his weight is higher by 20% from standard weight, which is determined by age, height, and other aspects. In such person, more blood is to be supplied to tissues, so blood pressure rises. It is essential to avoid smoking and to keep a constant watch over weight. The next, that is hypotension. Hypotension, that is low blood pressure. It is the occurrence of persistent systolic pressure of less than 110 mmHg and diastolic arterial pressure, that is less than 70 mmHg. It is caused by persistent vasodilatation of arterioles, reduced ventricular pumping, vascular defects, anemia, deficient diet. Low blood pressure results in weakness, dizziness, blurred vision. However, temporary relief can be obtained through intake of glucose and salt. Then next, it is atherosclerosis, that is nothing as shown in the figure, that is deposition of cholesterol in blood vessel, which causes hardening of arteries, right? So it is a silent killer, right, which becomes apparent after many years. It is responsible for heart attack and brain stroke. In healthy arteries, the innermost layer is smooth, which becomes injured due to high blood pressure, smoking, consumption of high fat food. Fatty substances becomes collected at the injured regions and form plaques. So the cells of injured regions proliferate, then smooth muscles of layer underlying it become incorporated, and lipids and mainly cholesterol becomes collected in this cells. Such a plaque becomes projected in the cavity of artery. Thus circulation becomes obstructed. Such plaques lead to formation of blood clots on walls of artery. Such a clot remains localized, which is called as thrombus. If it becomes liberated and if it starts circulating within the blood, then it is called as embolus. So if this is not treated, then there is serious consequence. The condition of formation of plaques and consequent narrowing of arteries, it is called as atherosclerosis, right? So here you can see how this function, endothelial dysfunction, it leads to the progression of atherosclerosis. Then heart attack and brain stroke occur under the effect of atherosclerosis. When cavities of cardiac arteries which supply blood to heart are partially or totally blocked, heart attack can result. It can be treated by various processes like angioplasty, right, or angiography or bypass surgery. Then arteriosclerosis, so it is condition of hardening of arterial walls. The walls become thick and inelastic due to deposition of cholesterol and calcium salt. Such a brittle artery can break. If it does, the blood from it flows out in clots. Such clots may circulate in blood and may cause problems in some organs. Then heart block, that is the block of conduction of impulses heart due to SA block, AV block and bundle of His. Then varicose veins, so on prolonged straining or due to defect in the walls of veins of legs, this occurs. The veins may become dilated, tortuous or thickened. Such veins become clearly visible and prominent. Treatment is surgical removal of such veins. Then next it is ischemic heart disease. So inadequate supply of blood to any organ or heart, that is ischemia. Angina pectoris, that is inadequate blood supply to myocardial muscle or oxygen imbalance, right? Then this is associated with coronary artery. Then myocardial infarction, that is blood supply to myocardial muscle to stop, right? So this occurs due to atherosclerosis, arteriosclerosis, and in which the lumen of blood vessel gets narrow, which result into complex stopping of blood supply, and this leads to heart attack. So risk factors of ischemic heart disease, that is hypertension, food rich with fat, diabetes and obesity. Then next it is the congenital heart disease, that is the disease that occurs during birth, that is defects in the birth, defects in the development of heart during birth, right? So this occurs when there is incomplete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated parts of blood, and due to which there is mixing of pure and impure blood. First, that is patent foramen oval. Patent foramen oval, that is the foramen oval fails to close after birth, as a result of which there is atrial septal defect through which impure blood in right atrium reaches left atrium and mixes with pure blood present there. The next set is patent ductus arteriosus. So the ductus arteriosus that fails to close after birth, during which impure blood in the pulmonary arch mixes with pure blood in aortica. The next set is ventricular septal defect. The interventricular septum is incomplete, thus allowing mixing of blood of two ventricles. Mixing of impure deoxygenated blood in pure oxygenated blood. In all of the above cases, it leads to the quantity of oxygen supply to the body, that is decline in oxygen supply to the body. Thus, symptoms of cyanosis, that is bluish discoloration of skin, can develop. Such babies are called as blue babies. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe our official YouTube channel Pharma Ignite. For more such videos, please press bell icon for notifications. Thank you.